Hi everyone, welcome back to the Terra 10K challenge, where I try to invest $10,000 of my own money and compound it into $100,000 by using Terra DeFi products. Now we're at day 47, as you can see from the Prism amps counter, and when I first started this, I think the Luna price was about $108 from memory, and it is plunged down to the current price of about $61. So it's always going to be hard to outrun liquidations when you start looping at about $108, like I did, and the price nearly halves. So unsurprisingly, I have actually been liquidated. If I was a bit more proactive, I may have been able to avoid that, but unfortunately I couldn't get to it in time, and I have been liquidated. So we have lost some of our original Luna. Essentially 70 of that Luna has been sold out from under us at a discount to the market rate, as I showed with the Kujira Orca app in the previous episode, where there's an on-chain auction to liquidate users who have reached their loan to value ratio at 100%. As you can see, even though we've been liquidated once already, we're still very close to being liquidated again. So I need to take some more proactive action to avoid that from happening. Now, if you need to check if you've been liquidated yourself, you can come to the My Page tab and then click on History, and that's going to show you some of your recent transactions. And as we can see here, this one here says repaid. So it can be a little bit misleading, but if you haven't made any repayments yourself, that would have been a liquidation. So if we click on that, it takes us to the transaction on the Terrascope site, and we can see the liquidation event happening here. Now, this is bundled together with other users that also got liquidated, so I'm guessing this happened via Kujira. When this is us here, we can see that we repaid $5,252 of borrowed funds, which resulted in about 70 of our Luna being sold out from under us at a discounted rate to the market price when the liquidation was triggered. So far from ideal, but this is what happens when you fly too close to the sun, so it's very important if you are using leverage that you manage your position effectively. In saying that, we still do have some other assets around that we can pull back now and put back into Anchor to stop us from being liquidated again, so let's go ahead and do that. We've got some Luna that's deposited in Prism that's farming the Prism token. I'm going to tempt fate and leave that in there, but while I'm here, I am going to activate our amps boost. Due to this big liquidation event, an awful lot of money has left the Prism Protocol because they would have been like us and farming the Prism rewards with borrowed funds. So that means our total APR has actually gone up. So it's actually more enticing to stay in here at the moment, but we may have to come back and pull this out if we need to, if the price keeps falling. Now, you might recall we were farming some of the Stader Labs SD token via this LP position between Luna X and Luna, and we're also getting some loop rewards for that as well. So I plan to remove that liquidity position and redeposit that Luna back into Anchor to help protect us to the downside. So if we go over to Loop, we'll be able to see where our LP position is currently deposited. Now, if we click on the portfolio button and scroll down, we'll be able to see our LP position, and we'll need to hit Unstake and Claim. Okay, now we can see we've successfully unstaked. Before I continue, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hi, I'm Jerry, host of the Lunar Orbit podcast, where I provide regular alpha and updates on all things Terra Luna. And if you enjoy this content, consider supporting the channel by smashing that like button, hitting subscribe, and hitting the notifications bell so you get all my videos in a timely fashion. Now, if we click on Farm, we should see our LP position as being unstaked, as we can see here. Now we need to actually withdraw that liquidity. If we click on Pool, we'll see our liquidity here on the right, and then we have the options to provide, withdraw, or farm. So we want to withdraw, go max, and that's our 3.9 LP tokens. Click Unpool, and now we'll see the 3.9 Luna and 3.9 Luna X in our wallet. We're going to convert our Luna X back into Luna. Now, keep in mind you could do this directly on the Leap wallet itself and earn yourself some extra Leap rewards. While we're here on the Loop Markets DEX, we'll just do it here. Now, finally, we want to swap our Luna into B Luna so we can resupply it into the Anchor protocol as collateral. Now, jumping back over to Anchor, we can see that we're looking quite sick again, and we're up to almost 97% in our loan to value ratio. So we want to resupply that B Luna to bring that back down to a safer level. So we'll click on Provide for B Luna, go max, and proceed. Okay, that's brought us back down to about 88%, so looking a little bit healthier there, and we'll start to get liquidated again if the Luna price drops below $53. Currently it's at about $61, so we've got a little bit of headroom again. The other lot of assets that we can redeploy back into B Luna to help protect ourselves is what we've got going on in the Mars protocol. Now, I'm tempted to leave this in here and see how the next few hours play out. If we do start plunging closer towards $53, I will withdraw this, and I may have to sell the Anchor tokens and then use the UST that I get for that to buy more B Luna. So if that happens, I'll do that. I'll come into here. As we can see, our position's underwater by about $85 from when we got into it. So it's definitely not an ideal time to sell, but this position itself isn't very close to being liquidated. The Anchor price needs to fall to $1.24 before that would happen, and it's currently down at $1.57. So hopefully this finds a bottom soon and the Mars position's not close to being liquidated, and hopefully the Luna price bounces soon and the Luna position isn't close to being liquidated. But we'll see how it plays out. And if you do have some loose Luna sitting around, maybe now is a reasonable time to start a strategy like this where you could start looping it to buy the dip. But obviously whenever you use leverage, it's very risky, but the risk reward is also quite high. So in summary, we have been liquidated and will face further liquidation if the Luna price dips below about $53, but we still have some funds left in the Prism farm, also farming the Anchor protocol on Mars. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and maybe consider watching one of my other videos.